Hey, my name is Shantae and I am passionate about financial fitness. I am passionate about doing a budget and sticking to a budget and paying off debt and focusing on my future and all the possibilities. I can help friends and family financially. I can start up my own business. I can travel around the world. I understand that the steps that I do today will ultimately lead to the steps that I can do in the future. If I budget today, that in the future I won't have to budget, that I won't have to think about how much money I have in my bank account or what's even in my bank account, because when I swipe my card, my money is always there. I like the idea that eventually my money is just going to make money for me and that I can retire earlier if I take these steps today. My passion kind of comes from when I was a bank teller a few years back, roughly about 5 or 6, and I would help these customers and they would have thousands and hundreds of thousands in their account, some close to my age, some twice my age, and I would just wonder, like, what are you doing that I'm not doing? It wasn't about their job, it wasn't about where they lived or how they lived. It was just the fact that they understood money better than I did. For example, at that time, I could sit down and try to make a budget, and every month I wouldn't know where $500 or $600 went. It would show that we made X amount, but we always somehow spent more than what we made, or I never could piece it together. I didn't know where my money was going. I didn't know how to track it. I didn't know how to just get a footing on what was happening in my financial life. That I needed to change for myself, for my husband, for our future kids. I had to do something to change the trajectory, the path where our life was headed. So for about 5 years now, I've been living on a budget. And that might sound daunting, that might sound scary, that might sound annoying to some people, that might sound like an inconvenience. But it's more of an inconvenience to be poor. To me, I mean, that's my opinion. It's more of an inconvenience for me to not be able to do things that I want to do, or not know how I'm gonna pay a bill, or at the time that the bill is due, I'm transferring money from one account to the next, or feeling like I have to ask somebody for money, and thank God I'm not in that position. I think it's because I finally took the chance. I took the responsibility of my finances. I remember being in a point of just being desperate, just feeling tired and sick of myself, truthfully. I am a believer, and I believe that God definitely will increase your territory, but I felt like I couldn't be trusted with more. I felt like God couldn't increase my territory because I couldn't take care of the little that He gave me. And not to say that the little I wasn't grateful for, I was, but I didn't know how to manage it. I didn't know how to serve Him with what He gave me. I didn't know how to praise Him with what He gave me. I was just there with it. And I decided that that wasn't okay. That wasn't okay for me, that wasn't okay for God, that wasn't okay just wasn't okay. So I started with the budget, and I started looking into anything that could help me. I stumbled across, well, actually in our marriage counseling, we were taught about Dave Ramsey and the debt snowball and financial peace, and yet it never stuck. It didn't make sense to me because I wasn't ready to actually go forward and actually tackle it full on. But I bought the book, I read it, and I was inspired. I went on YouTube, I watched videos. All of those stories inspired me so much more. I knew that this was something I could do. I knew that now that I had the steps, I could actually go after something bigger than me, something bigger than what I understood of finances, and that maybe, just maybe, this would be the thing that would allow me to prosper. Allow me to finally understand where my money goes, how I can make my money make money for me, how I can improve the quality of my life. Now, I've been on the debt snowball, like I said, for a few years now. The budget sometimes was hit and miss in the beginning. Sometimes I would skip a month, sometimes I would be on it. But for the last 3 years, I would say I've been solid on budgeting and paying off debt. I paid off credit cards, I paid off loans. We're working on the last student loan that I have right now. So roughly, I started off with about 37,000. I mean, literally just under 38,000. And we're at 14,000. That might not be impressive. That might be like a fraction of what you actually owe or what you're dealing with right now. We haven't aggressively done it. We haven't missed out on vacations, which I know was a big no-no in the Dave Ramsey debt snowball. We've gone on trips. We've celebrated holidays and anniversaries, and we've seen all the Marvel movies and DC movies that could come out that my husband wanted to see. We live life. We go out to eat, and we're still doing it. Slower, but we're doing it. And I feel like as I'm learning and as I'm growing and as I'm taking these steps to become a better person, to become more financially sound, I don't want to just keep this information and just hold it ransom. I want to share it. I want to give it to other people. I want people to be making moves. Like, I sometimes I think, like, what if I would have been serious 5 years ago? Like, I would have completely paid off my debt by now. Completely. Maybe we would be at the point of purchasing a home, and then I think of, like, okay, forget that. That's the past. I can't change it. I gotta accept it. It's great. It's fine. It's awesome. Where will I be 5 years from now? And that gives me the push, and that gives me the drive, and that makes me want to do so much more. Work harder, pick up extra jobs. I mean, save, turn down that trip, or whatever the case may be. Like, I think of 5 years from now, I want to be in my home. I want it to be paid off or almost paid off. I want to be building my future kids' college fund. Like, that's how I think now. That's where my mind is. That's what I'm focused on. And I want my friends to think like that. And I want my friends' friends to think like that. And I want this to be a cycle. And I want this to just keep growing and this snowball to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I want our paychecks to be our main source of income and not just go straight from our pockets or our bank account straight to a bill. Like, I want more people to be financially free. I want more people to be passionate about finance and understanding that this isn't something that has to be scary or daunting. Like, this could be something that changes your life, and not only changes your life, but when you're blessed, you're blessing other people, and then they get blessed, and it just keeps on going. The blessing just never stops. Like, that's what I kind of want for my friends. Like, I was joking and kind of coined the term, like, hashtag no broke friends 2020. And, like, honestly and truly, I understand everyone's in a different place and everyone is trying to do their own thing. And if you're not ready for this, you're just not ready, and it's okay. But I want that to be a reality. I don't want any of my friends to be broke. I don't want any of my friends to be suffering or struggling or anything like that. I believe that if we can implement these things today, if you could learn a little bit more about finances today, that your future will forever be changed. That's what I want. I want everybody doing good. I guess I say all of this and I go off on my rant to say that I want to share my knowledge. I want to share what I've found so far. I want to share my story. I want to share where we've been and how we're doing it. I want to share when we get to the finish line and have as many people with me on that journey. So this is kind of scary because I know this is putting out a lot of personal information. Finances are a taboo type of thing. A lot of people don't speak about it. They don't want people to know. But I'm not fearful of it. I feel like the more I give, the more I will receive. And I just look forward to learning. Like, on top of me learning more and sharing more, I want to like learn from the community and learn what's worked for you and how you have become financially fit. So that's what this is about. And that's it. It's just that simple. So yeah. Cut, I guess.